I've got a question.
Okay.
Why is Hollywood so liberal, and why do they have so much control?
Well, they're liberal because it's an emotional medium. If you're going to be an actor, you're emotional, but it's. I think that's part of it. But they control that. They control the news media as well, and the news media, for whatever reason, just loves to vilify someone who doesn't agree with them. Typically, it's someone who's conservative, and the issue with vilifying them and dehumanizing them. Yeah. That's a
cult members.
Yeah. So when you do that, everybody knows that. As soon as you call people racist and Hitler, well, they shouldn't be allowed to live. They shouldn't be allowed. That's what manifested itself with last Saturday and Trump. And they tried to off him, right? Mm-hmm. Well, in reality, if you look at assassination attempts throughout history, you can see that. There we go. Who the assassination attempts, with one exception of John F. Kennedy, they've all been against Republicans. Now, some of those may have been other Republicans but you don't think it was people that didn't like that side of the fence.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you sure that wasn't because there's this whole other scuttlebutt about party switching. You sure that wasn't before the party switch?
Oh, yeah, right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's a good excuse. You know? I mean, that's a good excuse when your party really is identity politics. Which, let's face it, if you peel away the layers on identity politics, it's racism. It's racist. It's making a decision about somebody's future based on their race.
Yeah.
But so all those, it was all Republicans except for Kennedy, which.
We had a conversation, Joel and I, on the way up here, and in his lifetime, this is the first type of thing that's, happened as far as history is concerned, and it was heavy, you know what I mean? And I said, me too, and then I remember, because he reminded me, like Reagan, Reagan, and I think there was something might have happened to Ford, but it might have been botched before it got to be anything horrible, right?
Squeaky Fromm, wasn't that the one?
I'm not sure.
She tried to, and they caught her or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it was one. I think it was one of Manson's girls that didn't end up in jail. That's who it was. Yeah, she wanted to.
What was her name? Squeaky what?
Squeaky Fromm. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that her porn name?
I'm so old. No, it would have been Amber Fromm. I'm
God.
just old, Richie. What can I tell you?
So. And you were in what grade were you in when Kennedy was assassinated?
I was doing my graduate work at USC.
Uh-huh.
No,
were you a thespian then?
I was in the fourth grade, and so that was one of those moments everybody remembers where you were, and the little girl comes running around the corner. They shot Kennedy, and he's dead, and like that. It was very different than it is now.
Oh yeah,
obviously the whole country was in mourning, because even people that didn't vote for him thought he was a good guy. Yeah. And the people understood back then. And
Irish Catholic, huh?
Well, that's why a lot of them didn't like him. We'll never have a Catholic in the president. But because got to find a reason to hate somebody. Well, he's Catholic or Protestant. That's a good.
Hey, Joel,
good
there's that religion thing again.
Yeah, well,
we had a conversation about that in the car.
Yeah, well, it could be because you like the Yankees or you like the Red Sox. They hate each other, So
that's a different kind of hate. I think,
but you know what I'm saying. So people always finding some reason to hate on the other guy. My guy good, your guy bad. That whole thing. Yeah. But it was different, and it didn't take but a minute when Trump got shot for people to start taking sides.
Oh yeah, it's fake. It was staged.
Yeah, and well, it's kind of sad. I mean. Whatever you say, okay, so maybe Glass did cut his ear, was from the teleprompter or something. Well, somebody died. Somebody got shot.
Two other guys.
And they were killed.
Yeah, one my age and another guy that was in his 70s, I think, took one in the shoulder.
Yeah. And those guys, that family will never be the same. The guy that took it in the shoulder and ended up in the hospital, he won't be the same.
Oh, there's probably some people that just were there and saw stuff. They'll never be the same because that can be very traumatic too. And again, I I've seen lots of videotape where guns are being fired and people don't know where the gunshots are coming from, and they run like cattle or sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody just runs,
Scatter.
which, didn't seem like a lot of people were ducking, but, they weren't really running anywhere.
Well, I think the shots ended.
On the videos that I could see, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I know there were people freaking out and screaming and hiding, and, it was just kind of
But I think
weird.
there was when the shots stopped, I think there was a lot of FU in the audience.
Oh,
We're
definitely.
not going. And then when Trump puts his fist up and says fight, which is just,
That's history.
adds to the craziness of the day and the outcome.
Oh, there's going to be statues and paintings and it's one of those. It's a very iconic picture.
Well, I don't know there'll be statues. There'll be statues that are torn down if that comes up.
They need to get past all that and stop trying to change history.
I agree.
We talked about that being in Europe and stuff, and there's so many great places and statues, and it's part of history. It's part of time.
Yeah.
You can't change it. You know what I mean? That was then. This is now.
Yeah. Can't change it.
It's a constant reminder. You want it to be a constant reminder.
Yeah.
I don't sit around thinking, we should get back to those days,
Right.
Heads on spikes, you know what I mean? Gladiator days or whatever.
Yeah, the good old days, maybe.
Sorry that it happened.
Not so
I didn't
much.
have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it happen again.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
We don't want to see any of that happen again.
No, sir. No, sir.
Bowl of cherries, that's what we want.
That's right. A bowl of cherries. Mm-hmm. But assassinations, huh? Assassination attempts.
Yeah. I hope to avoid them.
I do too. Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to know about the weapon, and he went shooting that day. Asked to borrow his dad's gun. Apparently, his father and mother were concerned for him, and they called the local authorities, or gendarmes, as my pop used to say.
Yeah.
And reported him having a problem. So my son went to the gun range with a gun. We can't find him. What goes into the local police apparently. Nobody flags that.
Yeah.
Rangefinder. Nobody flags that. Several people minutes before the other people that just reported it minutes before the gunshots were fired.
Yeah.
Nobody reports. There's no comms. There's no Johnny, I'm here. Copy. Over. Yeah. Post 3. Good. Yeah. Anything? Nah. Hey, listen, they spotted some guy at the front gate. Let's everybody be on our fucking toes, head on the swivel. You see this kid, he's wearing this, he's wearing that. Let's be looking for him. No. They don't stand the president down until the threat is
until he's
perceived
shot.
threat is taken care of or identified or in custody or, we got this fucking lunatic or whatever. They just let the fucking guy walk up there. Then there's also, I don't know what the graph is, but, when you're recording something, musically, let's say you hit the snare, right? You're hitting the floor tom and the kick drum, and you hit the snare and it spikes, right?
Right.
So they have these devices that they're recorded the shots from the video, and there's a crack, 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 and then there's a tit, 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 tit. Then there's a crack that's different. There's three different, not four, three. There's 3 different weapons that they've picked up that are you can't argue with it. You can't argue with the science, apparently. So, anyway, we've still got lots of questions. I'm sure we'll continue to have questions, and we'll have questions.
Well, we'll have questions about something else because of the news cycle. And as horrific as all this was, and the history that was made by an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate.
Former president.
It's going to go away as soon as they figure out what to do with Joe Biden. It's going to be in the rearview mirror, because that's like we said, the news cycle. So, but we'll be here.
That's right. We are.